Hello, welcome in. If you are here, you are stepping into your highest timeline, and I couldn't be more thrilled for you. So I'm just going to tap in, get a channeled message, and then I'm going to pull some cards and we'll go wherever the energy leads us. Tapping in spirit to this collective, please bring through any messages that they need to hear to help them step into their highest timeline. Only divine messages meant for their highest good are allowed in this space. Please remove me, help me be a clear channel, and bring through messages that would resonate with them, that they would know, yes, this message is meant for me. Tapping in now, what does this collective need to know today in this moment, Spirit? I'm getting a school bus. Bunch of kids on the school bus. Looks like they're headed for a field trip, like singing songs, hanging out the window. The bus driver is happy. Everybody's kind of happy and just in their own world and doing their own thing. Woo. And I'm seeing an accident, like something crashes into this bus and jostles all the children around. They were like innocent and happy and just bumping along, and their world was shaken, rattled, and they're hurt, and they don't know what happened, or it came out of nowhere. I'm really getting a sense of like loss of innocence. I was free, I was liberated, I was being myself, I was singing, I was having fun with my friends, and something came along and knocked me right off that happiness and made me realize, like, the world's scary. This is scary. I need to protect myself. This isn't fun and jovial anymore. This is what happened. So I'm really getting, as it relates to you and your journey, that you are this beautiful, young spirited, joyful, loving, beautiful soul. And you want to be free to be that soul, and it's fun being that soul, but enough accidents, enough shit has come and hit you in the side of the friggin' bus when you were just trying to be you, that now you just ride the bus a little scared. Now it's not just fun and rainbows. It's not just we can be safe and listen, Spirit, I tried that. I tried letting go and having fun. In my experience on this earth has shown me that things are scary. Bad things happen. I need to protect myself. I get hurt. So Spirit's acknowledging that you have true reason to not be so carefree, true reason to not let that fun, risky kind of, like, in school buses, you're not wearing a seatbelt, you're singing, you're standing up while it's moving, like you're just free to be, right? And Now that you've had this experience, or you've had multiple experiences through your life that knocked that safe, fun foundation, you approach life now a little scared. You approach life not ignorant to the fact that shit can hit the fan, that stuff can go down, that true people get hurt, that you get hurt. So, Spirit, I get that you want me to go back and discover my inner child and discover who I was before the world happened to me. But the world happened to me, and the world is still happening. So, I'm really getting this question that you have for the world that says, how do I be this bright light, this carefree, loving, trust me, Spirit, I want to be this. I want to be love and light. How do I balance this with the wisdom of knowing shitty things can happen and feeling like I want to stand in my truth and I want to protect myself and I want to protect my energy and I don't want to just be ignorant to things that can hurt me. I don't want to be in a space where I'm pretend that nobody can drive drunk and hit a bus. I don't want to be, because that's real. That can happen. So how do we protect ourselves without limiting ourselves? Whew. Y'all, I have to tell you, when this message came through and I saw the kids on a field trip on a bus, I was like, yay. And then I saw the accident and I was like, in my brain, I was like, no, Spirit, don't make me tell them that somebody crashes into this bus. Like, and you have to say it. Like when you're channeling and it's coming through, like that's the message. You have to say it. You have to remove yourself. But I did not want to say that, but it totally makes sense. I can totally resonate with the like, when you've been through as much as you've been through, it's nearly impossible for you to go back to the innocent part of you. So, how do we bring that innocent boy or girl back with all the wisdom and protection of the experiences we've had? Let me grab some cards. Which deck, Spirit? I'm getting Souls on Fire again. Good. I always feel like this deck is a little bit more like levity. So maybe we can bring some levity. Again, this is the Souls on Fire deck by Soulful Revolution. This is a really great deck with great illustrations. If you're interested in what decks I use. She also has a tarot class that I've taken. So big shout out to Mary Jo and Soulful Revolution over there. All right, Spirit. What a good question. How do we show up and be light and love and free when we feel like we need to protect ourselves? What more does this collective need to know? Give us some more clarity on this message. Tell us more about this feeling of needing to protect ourselves. Okay. I'm getting Judgment, and I'm getting the Wheel of Fortune. So good news. These are good cards, right? And what I really get with Judgment is you've been through the trials and tribulations that you signed up for. Believe it or not, you signed up to go through all of those experiences, to expand your soul, to learn, to understand the duality of innocence and feeling like you need to protect yourself. And all of those experiences have deepened your capacity for empathy for others, right? We can't come here and experience just light and rainbows and be this, beacon for other people, and we haven't experienced anything, right? We always feel like we can relate more to somebody that's been through our experience, or at least gets it and has the capacity for that empathy. So all of these shattering is the word I'm getting, experiences you've had, things that have really just hijacked your innocence. They were all here for a reason. They were here for your calling. They're directly related to your calling. But with this, I'm seeing that you're being reborn, that you lived like this hard life. And these are actually, oh, I can't show these on YouTube because there's nudity. But they're actually in these coffins, okay? And they've like lived this life that they lived, and they're dead, and now they're being called into their calling. It's a rebirth, so thinking about, can we leave some of that behind? Can we be reborn, made new, and leave some of that devastation, some of that trauma, some of our nervous system that's just so hyper scared of those things always happening, right? Because we could, let's say we had one car accident that just keeps us scared of driving, but we drive every day. And in our brain, like we know that we've been in the car thousands of times and nothing's happened. Okay, so can we leave some of the nervous system parts of us in the past to discover maybe a new way, maybe a way that's lighter, maybe a way where there aren't any car accidents going to happen? Can we make space for alternate possibilities and be a little less guarded? And I'm seeing that the Wheel of Fortune, it knows, like, this is divine timing, but you've been in this cycle of all of that trauma, of trauma and dealing with that trauma and healing from that trauma. But you're not supposed to let it all go. Like, it is all for a divine reason. But with the Wheel of Fortune, I'm getting that it's about to change. You don't have to be as guarded. You're going to come into a new existence where you receive, where things are easier, where things come around you, where you are put at ease. For whatever reason, there'll just be things around you where you go, oh, okay, that's taken care of. Or, oh, okay, this gives me a feeling of safety, so I don't need to worry so much. And I get the Five of Pentacles. Okay, so this is a lack mindset. But, in this card, I'm seeing there's a girl right here on crutches. And she's looking towards this church and she's saying, oh, I wish I could go in there and not be out in the cold. So this is like the wounded part of you, okay? And this is the wounded part of you that's kind of out in the cold and wondering, where does she belong, okay? But we can let those crutches go and we can walk into this church and feel the love and feel the belonging and feel the safety and feeling like we don't need the crutches anymore. We can let that go. And I know that's easier said than done, but it does start with walking through that door. And so for you, I'm getting, can you do things that make you feel unsafe? And I'm not saying, take crazy risk here. But sometimes this is just like standing up for our truth, and our nervous system says, oh, like, let's not say that. That makes me feel scared. Can we do some things that feel aligned for us? They feel like the version of us we want to be. And bring your crutches into the church. Bring your scared self with you, but don't not go in to the church, okay? Don't not step forward. Don't not get on the bus because of that one accident that happened, okay? So it's not just like you have to be fully not scared. You have to forget whatever happened to you. No, you can remember what happened to you and also step forward in a path that feels not only more aligned, but more light and airy, that doesn't need to worry about that happening again. Okay? So this is like realizing you can have that, but it might take you stepping forward even if you're scared, right? That's what courage is, acting even though we're a little scared by it. What else does this collective need to know? Got one on the floor. Okay. I get the Page of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles. So maybe there's something that you need to do some research on, okay? Maybe there's something that if you did a certain amount of research, maybe there's something in your life right now, maybe a calling that's coming in for you that is making you feel like, I don't know if I can do this, okay? And there is probably a certain amount of research that you can do, like get online, get the answers you need to make you feel safe in moving forward and making this decision. So instead of in your head being like, well, I don't know if I can do this, and I don't know if I'm getting screwed over, and I don't know if this deal or this opportunity or this new path looks good, or I don't know how I would do it, and all of these limiting beliefs that come from a place of, I've tried to do things before and I've been screwed over or whatever. You can get online. This is finding things out, figuring things out, researching. Okay, so you can get online or whatever and do the research that you need to do to feel safe enough to walk in this church. Maybe you're like, okay, I want to walk in this church, or I want to walk down this spiritual path or whatever, but I'm not sure if this is a cult. I'm scared to like own this thing as like my new direction, even though you're sitting out here wounded and in the cold. Okay, fair enough. Those are your fears. But you're going to do the research to ask all the questions that you need to ask, and you are allowed to ask questions. Never sit back and think, well, if I just trusted spirit, I wouldn't ask any questions and I would just walk forward. I ask questions all the time. And it's like, that's the smart part of you. You've been given these experiences to ask some questions. Hey, before I get on that bus, are there seatbelts on that bus? Before I get on this bus, what route are we taking? You're allowed to ask those. And are they out of fear? They're out of experience. I have had a bus driver before that didn't do X, Y, and Z, or none of us were in seatbelts and really bad things happened. So I ask these couple of questions now. And it's not necessarily trauma or wounding or nervous system where need to just let go of everything you've learned. You've learned those things. You know how to ask the questions. You know what questions to ask. So ask them. Don't just like, oh, well, I have to walk in faith and know that I'm being called into something. You've been given these experiences as tools that you can use moving forward. Okay. And it's not from a scared place, it's from a wisdom place. Okay. So ask all the questions that you need to possibly ask to feel okay about stepping forward. And I'm seeing the Queen of Pentacles here. So this is really abundant. This is wealth. This is stability and security coming in. And in lieu of this message, I'm really getting this as security. Okay? Because you're wise and because you've been through a lot of shit, you know which questions to ask. You're going to do all the research that you need to do to feel safe and secure in making decisions. And you're not going to play this like, well, I guess I just won't ask, no, the Queen of Pentacles like, all right, cool. Let me know how the bus is designed. Cool. I have a few questions. And to make me feel better about that, I'd like you to answer these things. That's where your safety and your security comes from, so that you can walk into this church feeling like, all right, yeah, I did my research. I know all about you, and I feel very confident moving forward in life with this new thing that's being presented to me, with this calling that I've been feeling nudging on my heart, which, yes, may be in divine timing, but I have some questions and I'm a little scared. I need to ask those things so that I can feel safe and secure walking away from my wounding, okay, and into this promise of this nice warm life. Okay, cool. But I don't want to be ignorant. I don't want to be naive. And I've been naive in the past, and naivete has not helped me. Okay? So I get the Four of Cups. You may have been sitting around lately, kind of bored, wondering when a new opportunity is going to be presented to you, kind of going throughout life like, ho hum, this is just kind of how I live. I know all these, bad things happen in the world. I don't really know where my place is in it. I don't really know how this will all work. So rather than, yes, a new opportunity is coming in. But Spirit's really saying, go explore, go research options for yourself, because you're sitting around waiting for an option to come in for you, and you can go explore. And by you doing this, by you exploring and asking all the right questions about all the things that matter to you, all the things that are going to make you feel safe, by you doing that, you're going to bring in the opportunity and craft the opportunity that feels right for you, that makes you walk into it like this Queen of Pentacles, not like scared or wondering if it's right for you. Or no, you're going to walk into it like a Page of Pentacles because you've asked all the right questions. But maybe during your research, you also craft the opportunity you want. So maybe you're like, okay, Spirit, I do want to go down this path, this new path, explore this relationship, explore this calling that I've been given, explore this career, whatever this thing is that you're wanting to do. And maybe through asking around, you realize, oh, I don't actually want to collaborate with these people because that's not aligned with me. And maybe you ask over here, and maybe you do research, and it's through this asking and research that you craft what works for you. Not just is it possible, because you already know it's possible. It's a calling. You're going to do it. But you're going to do it in a way that works for you. So you're going to ask all the right questions, and you're going to create the opportunity that you want. That's going to get you out of this like feeling of being bored and like waiting for Spirit to just bust through with an opportunity, because Spirit may be busting through with some opportunities lately, and maybe because of your experience on the bus, because of your experience with your own trauma or your own history, maybe you're having reasons why that won't work, or you're just guarded, you're just nervous, you're just, because you've been through some stuff. So Spirit's saying, that's fine. Ask all the questions, do all the research you need to do to make it work, but you are being called forward in this, and this is divinely led for you. This is your purpose. So sure, we get that you've been through some stuff, and we get that you've had some experiences. So do all the research you need to do so that you feel safe walking forward. Okay? We acknowledge that it's been a lot, and in the past it hasn't always been that you get delivered an opportunity and it's just the best thing, because we've had to learn a lot of lessons. But we're done with the lesson learning part, and we're now being called into our calling part of our journey in this earth. So it's going to look different. It's going to feel good, but it's okay if you need to feel safe while you're stepping into it. Anything else for this collective this morning? Spirit. I'm getting that that's the message. That's the message. So it's actually pretty straightforward. It's you're allowed to ask questions, okay? And on the bottom of the deck, things influencing this, or things you don't see, kind of things happening in the subconscious, you're really done. You're done with some cycle here, okay? You have put to bed an old version of yourself. You've put to bed maybe an opportunity or a cycle or a relationship or a pattern where you did abandon yourself, or you didn't ask all the questions you need to, and you kept getting hurt. Look, this is a guy with 10 swords in his back. So you didn't just like get hurt. You've been hurt, right? Like over and over and over again. Okay. But you are ready for levity. You are ready. So I also get the Empress with that. So you're ready to birth this new thing, and you want justice. Okay. And you are getting justice. This new path, right under that, I get the Two of Wands. So this is like, make a decision towards the thing that you know that's going to influence the world. Make a decision, which you already have. I'm getting that you already have made that decision. And Spirit wants you to know that new decision will be your justice for all of the hurt that you've been through. Okay? So you're going to feel that you have all the resources that you need to step into this. All right? And it's going to lead to your ultimate feeling of security and safety as you step forward. And look at this justice card. Like the imagery on these cards really help with the message. But look at her on this tightrope, right? And she's like, I'm stepping forward. This is totally us. I'm stepping forward, and I hope that my justice comes. I hope people see things the way I see them. I hope something resonates. I hope I land safely. And because this is justice in balance, you will. You will land safely, and you'll actually land like the most secure you could ever be. Okay? So that's the message. Spirit knows that you've been through a lot, and it was all for a reason. And Spirit understands why you would be trepidatious, why you would be hesitant to move forward in this new way, and understands your battle with, well, I want to just believe myself and be light and airy and move forward and know that this is my purpose. But hey, what about, I can't forget everything I've been through, and you're not supposed to. It has given you wisdom to ask the questions. So ask the questions, use your wisdom. Don't not do something because you're so scared to do it. Get to a place where you feel good enough to at least step forward, and then step forward, and you'll be given even more stability as you do that. But use your discernment as you step forward. If at any point you start your new journey, and let's say you're going to do some new collaboration with some person, and they give you the space to like try out your craft, or but that your relationship with them is off, or you don't like the part, that's information. That's just information. It doesn't mean, oh, this whole thing didn't work and I knew it and I was going to, no, that's just information. So maybe you got to do your craft, and you got to, I don't know, have some clients or something or whatever. And that was all good, but your relationship with this person. So you just pivot and go, okay, so now I'm going to find a new space or a new partnership, or I'm going to do a new thing. This path didn't work perfectly, but I'm going to take things from that path that did work, and I'm going to do it a different way. Everything's for our learning and using. It's not an all or nothing attitude. This is the page. This is a learner. So ask the questions you need to feel safe. And then as you move forward, use your discernment and go, does this work for me? How does this make me feel? Is this still the right path? Do I just need to make a little adjustment? Okay. Well, I know this message started out like kind of scary, and we have all been through some scary things. And we do wonder sometimes, how do those fit into the new me, the new version of me? But it just means you're wise. You've been through a lot. So you have the courage now to step forward, and you do have the connection to Spirit to discern whether something's right for you or not. So if you don't feel safe, question that. Is this a nervous system thing? Do I need to ask more questions? But don't let it stop you from moving forward. The lighthouse can show you the shore, but you still need to steer the ship. Please, if you like this message, like, share, subscribe. I'm a new channel. Share it with somebody that you think it would help right now. And until next message.